Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome to my channel. This is your girl Sharika, and today I just wanted to speak to you guys about some coping mechanisms that work for me while living with endometriosis. I hope you guys find this video informative, and if you want to find out what I have been doing to try to manage my pain, please stick around, okay? So before I actually begin, I just want to thank a lot of you who have been reaching out to me with encouragement, a lot of you who have felt moved to share your varying stories with me. I appreciate you so much. I'm not happy that you guys have to endure this, but it makes me feel a little better just to know that I am not alone. You understand? So I just want to say thank you guys so much for reaching out and just encouraging me to keep pushing on. Okay? Alright, so currently, and I have to give God thanks, my endometriosis pain, it only really cripples me on the very first day of my period. Now, I have kind of come up with something, like I had to watch my period for a while in order to come up with this, but I came up with something that kind of helps me, and it's not the best thing, but it's what works for me for now until I can figure out something that is better. So about a week to a week and a half before my period actually starts, I get a fever that feels like it's stemming from in the womb, and with that fever comes the feeling of a growing ovarian cyst. This cyst normally creates a lot of discomfort for me, and say I step too hard, or I slam myself down in the bed too hard, or I sit down in a chair too hard, then I could feel that it moves, or sometimes it would start throbbing, and it's such an uncomfortable feeling. So what I started to do to reduce the discomfort, and I mean, it's not severe pain, it's more discomfort that comes with this, but I would start to, that is my first indication that my period is on the way. So I would start taking my paracetamol. I know this is 500 milligram per pill, so what I do, instead of taking 2, which I would take when I'm actually on my period, I start taking 1. I don't take it every day. I would take it like every other day, just to not overload my system with all of these pills. But it really helps me to manage the discomfort that comes from the ovarian cyst, and it also manages the fever that I get. I don't know if anybody else experiences this leading up to their cycle. Another symptom that I get as well is that my breasts get really tender. I also experience nausea and sometimes extreme dizziness to the point that I really have to sit down and allow it to pass. Anyways, on that first day of my period, my pain doesn't just come right away. I will start seeing spotting, and that kind of gives me a head start to start taking my natural remedies, and they do help. One of the things that I take is that I came across this natural cannabis tea. It's made locally, but I'm sure wherever you are across the world, you are able to find some kind of cannabis tea. This one is the cannabis infused with lemongrass. He also has one that is cannabis infused with soursop, and the cannabis that's infused with soursop specifically states that it is good for endometriosis. This one is good for relieving menstrual pain, it boosts your metabolism, it burns fat, it aids in digestion and antioxidant, it regulates high blood pressure. The other one, I had a box of that as well, but that's finished. I like to buy both of them just for the pain and for the endometriosis, but I always run out of the soursop one before this one is finished, always. So let me see if I can get, yeah, I think that's the best I can get it up there. But this really helps me. Another thing is my good up ginger tea. Listen guys, if you have endometriosis or fibroids, or you just have bad period cramps without any of these other diseases, make sure you keep ginger. Ginger is a lifesaver. Let me tell you, ginger is like when you make a strong cup of natural ginger tea, it's like it just puts out any pain or fever, anything that you have going on in your body. It's like ginger just say, get out of here. Ginger is it, guys. And then I have my good old turmeric. Now for me, I don't only drink like just plain turmeric. I like to make golden milk, and in golden milk I get the addition of cinnamon. So I would make it vegan with non-dairy milk. I would use coconut and almond milk. Oh yeah, and there's actually a video of how I make my golden milk up on my channel, so you can go check it out. But golden milk has so many benefits. You can look it up. I also mentioned some of them in my video, but it has so many benefits, and it helps to reduce the pain. It helps to reduce inflammation, and endometriosis is a inflammatory disease. I hope I call the word right. But yeah, so it thrives on mucus, and once you can keep your body as low on mucus as possible, then you can avoid inflammation as much as possible. So yeah, check out my golden milk video and ensure to give it a watch. And while I'm on the topic of inflammation, I think it's wise for me to interject some things that could cause extra inflammation in the body, or extra mucus that then in turn leads to inflammation in the body. And these are dairy products, a lot of milk and cheese. I mean, let me tell you, I'm guilty of being in love with milk. I love ice cream, I love pizza, I love macaroni pie. I like all of these things that are not so good for us, especially if you consume them too often. So I mean, if you're somebody like me who struggles to give up those types of things, I would recommend that you simply reduce the intake of dairy stuff. Okay? It would help you to reduce eating meat, or it would help you 100% if you could go vegan. I am struggling with that. I think I mentioned that in my first video, so I'm not pushing anybody to just give up everything that they love and go vegan, but it's something that would really help. It's important to keep our body on that perfect alkaline level to fight against all these infections and diseases. But I mean, realistically, in the world that we're living in, it is so hard. It takes a lot of willpower to be able to just say, today I'm gonna give up chicken and meat and cheese and all that good stuff. Now, on that first day of my period, these remedies, they don't work like in its entirety. I still feel pain. I mean, it just seems like there's absolutely nothing that can 100% take away endometriosis pain. But let me tell you, going through the day, without these versus taking these, it's a big difference, guys, a huge difference. Like if my period decides to start at work, I'm gonna have to leave. There's no question about it. And I hate when my period decides to come at work, because then I don't get to take these remedies first to like prepare my body, you know? So yeah. So after the first day of my period right now lasts about, I call it about 4 days, because after the first day, my bleeding is actually light, and I thank God, because a lot of women complain about having really heavy periods. I don't experience the really heavy period. My first day is the heaviest day, and then the next couple of days it gets really light to spotting. Thank God. So on that first day is the only day that I really need to go crazy on all of these remedies. Like sometimes I have to drink at least 3 cups of my ginger tea, and the cannabis tea I usually have to use like 3 or to 4 tea bags to make it strong enough to do what it gotta do. One thing I try not to take a lot of is the painkillers. I'm happy that my pain is only extremely intense on the first day, so that I can kind of back off of the painkillers on the other days of my cycle, and just kind of just use the natural remedies, especially the ginger tea, guys. So make sure you always have enough ginger on hand to help you out. Yeah, so basically those are my main coping mechanisms. I mean, try to stay active. I find that if I lie down a lot, and I mean, what works for me might not work for you. I can only tell you guys what has been helping me. But I find that if I personally would lie down a lot, then I don't feel my best when I get up. But if I try to stay active, like cook, find things to do around the house if I'm home, or just try my best to still go to work and get work done, and kind of just drown out the pain with work, although you're uncomfortable trying to sit up and trying to, you know, get work done. I try to go as much as possible. I mean, I've been keeping my sick days to a minimum, and I believe it's God, but my period has always been starting recently when I'm home, and I'm so happy for that, so that I get to carry out my remedies so that I can make it to work the following day, or sometimes it comes on the first day of my 2 days off, so then I get the 2 days to really get myself ready to go to work after my days off are finished. So play with these remedies and see what works for you. You might have a different story for me, and you might be able to enlighten me on things that actually work for you. So, you know, just comment below and let me know what you think. And if you do practice other things that work for you. Somebody had messaged me on Facebook Messenger, and she said that she uses this Chinese tea, I think. She was supposed to send me a link. So, I mean, if I do get that information and it's something that I can review, I will do that. And I also got a message from somebody else who has a friend who has been using CBD oil, which is the cannabis oil, and that works for her. So, I mean, I will, if I can get my hands on that. I know it's super expensive. There is somebody who was selling it here, and I was considering it, but then since my remedies kind of work for me, I just kind of put that aside. But I mean, if we can actually find something that could rid us of our pain 100%, and it's 100% natural, then why not? So I'm willing to try other things that could get me where exactly I want to be. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this video. Try these remedies and see if they work for you, and comment below and let me know if they do. And if you have any suggestions for me, just let me know. Once again, thank you guys for watching. If you made it to the end of this video, I appreciate you so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.